Well, like I said earlier, my experience with going up to St. Louis was not a very good experience for me, and I don't think for him either. It was early in the morning. I think our appointment was at 11, so we had to leave at 7:30 in the morning, and he didn't really get any breakfast. We drove for 2 hours. That was the first time he's ever had to drive in a car for heck, even more than 30 minutes. So that was already had him upset. We got there, he was fine. We sat in the waiting room for, I don't know, probably half hour, and then we went in, and there was two doctors that come in and sat us in a room. It was me and his mom and Ridge and the two doctors, and they started playing with him, and he was doing well. He was able to do the things that they wanted. Then they started getting a little, I guess, harder things for him to do, and then the first one he got upset and it didn't go his way, and that on top of driving that long and not eating, he had a meltdown. And sometimes when he has meltdowns, they're bad ones, and he won't do anything for you. Like, you just have to let him calm down and he'll be fine after an hour. So he had one of those, and then so they kind of stopped playing with him, and then they walked out, and then they come back in, and it only took like 20 minutes for them to come back in the room, and they handed us the paper and said, what he was diagnosed with, and they did diagnose him from medium to severe. At least that's what it says on the papers, and I don't agree with that, but that's what they diagnosed him with, and that was our experience there. I feel like it would have been better if they would have had several visits where we could come, and I don't know, maybe we could go up there and stay the night, and then he'd be fine in the morning. We could have him prepared, but that was our experience with it.
We also went to St. Louis, and it was kind of the same. Now with Carson, he did get a nap, but with him, if he doesn't get his full nap and you have to wake him up in the middle, it's kind of the same thing where it's not a good experience for anybody involved, and that was the case then. With our first visit, there was a doctor and at least two students, and they came in and they talked to us, and they kind of observed him, and they walked out of the room, let us kind of play with him a little bit. Came back in, they tried to play with him, and he interacted a little bit. We had videos on our phones that we showed him, the doctor, of things that he's done at home, and kind of the same things that they were wanting him to do there that he wouldn't do for them. And I don't know if it was just the strangers trying to ask me to do this, or somebody that he didn't know was trying to ask him to do something, and we went back for a second visit 2 weeks later, and it was kind of like how yours ended. It was just we went in, sat down, they talked to us a little bit, they went back out and came in and gave us the paperwork that had the diagnosis of autism. I kind of agree with you. I don't really agree with the diagnosis, but that's they get paid to do that. But overall, between the two visits, I don't think it was a great experience. Now, that's one or two cases, but so then after that we started home intervention, and that went okay. I didn't see that he progressed very far in those few months, and like with you, we had to stop at 3, so we got 3 months out of that, I think, 3 or 4 months, and then he started here in pre-K in August, and that's where things kind of turned around.